as we said earlier, we're looking at the introduction to public sector accounting and finance. The first thing we're going to look at is to understand what is public sector. What is public sector? And we are saying here that public sector is all organization that is purely, look at it, that is purely controlled, that is purely or totally controlled by the state, that is totally controlled by the state or government of the country. So we're saying that public sector as it were is all organization which are not privately owned and operated. So and all organizations that are not privately owned and that are not privately operated, that is all organizations that are purely owned and controlled and operated by the government on behalf of the public, that is owned, controlled, managed, operated by the what? By the government of the country or the state in the interest of the public or in the interest of the citizen of the country. We said such organization is referred to as public sector. Such is referred to as public sector. Now let us look at what is public sector accounting. Public sector accounting. Different authors have actually come up with different definition. Now some call it that public sector accounting is a science. Some authors said that public sector accounting is a science of collecting, recording, analyzing, summarizing, interpreting and recording financial transaction of an organization of various stakeholders for the purpose of decision making. Now that is one definition, and another author has defined public sector as a process of recording. After you record the information, you communicate the information, you summarize the information, you analyze the information, and you interpret the information in order to facilitate decision making. Now what is important is to understand that when we talk about public sector accounting, you need to know the word accounting there indicates that it is a process. It is a process. It is not one just action. It is a process of. It is a process. It is an act of processing information into processing a data into information that could be used for decision making. So that needs to be understood from that perspective. Another field of study, see public sector accounting. Another field of study, see public sector accounting as a study of how record of income, expenditure and other related financial statements or information of company, individual and government are kept. That is how another philosopher sees public sector accounting. He sees it as a study of how the record of income, expenditure and other related financial information, financial transaction of an individual, corporate organization and government are being kept. So it is important to us to note this. A public sector, it is an act, it is a process, it is a science, a process of recording, communicating, summarizing, analyzing, interpreting collecting government financial statement and statistics in aggregate and detail. Now what we mean by that is that when you gather a raw data, let's say you have sold something now, or you have collected money now, you need to process the information. You need to first record the information. Recording the information means you document it in black and white. Then we talk about summarizing the information. Now when you are reporting to board of director, management, you need to summarize the information. They don't need the detail of the information at a point. They may not need the detail. You need to summarize the information. But while you are summarizing the information, you need to analyze the information. How do you analyze the information? You need to separate. For example, when we are talking about your collection of income, collection of money from people, from stakeholder, you need to know, okay, this is how much I was able to collect in the month of January. This is how much I was able to collect from all female. This is how much we collected from youth. This is how much we were able to collect from old women or old men. This is what we call, you are analyzing the information. Then you summarize the information so that we can know how much in total have you collected. Has that money been paid into the bank? How many people paid the highest? That is what you call, you are summarizing the information. Then you now need to interpret this information. Interpret it is that you know that in the board of director, everybody may not be accountant, everybody may not understand figures. You need to break it down in such a way that even a non-accountant will understand the report you are presenting to the board. That is why we say that it is a process. It is not an end in itself. It is an end to a means. It is a means to an end. So we're saying that public sector is a means to an end. It is a process. It is a science of processing information, communicating it, summarizing the information, analyzing it, interpreting it, in aggregate, in detail, for the benefit of what? Using it to make informed decision. Using it to make informed decision. And it helps to render a stewardship account to the public fund. What you are saying is that when you talk about public sector, these are taxpayers' money that has been entrusted in the hand of the government, and government that money is kept in the hand of government as a trust. So government has a responsibility to give account of the taxpayers' money in their custody, just like we have it in private sector. When they appoint the board of director, these board of director are appointed by the shareholders, and they were given some certain resources to hold in fiduciary, to hold in trust, and to use it to trade, to do business. And at the end of the year, they call AGM in order for them to come and give account. So in public sector accounting, taxpayers' money are in custody of the government official, and they have responsibility to give account of it. And that's what we mean by it has to do with rendering of stewardship to public sector. The stewardship of the public fund entrusted in the hand of the government to the public, to the member of the public, or to the citizen of the country. So this concerns the receipt, the custody, and disposal. So when we talk about the stewardship, it has to do with what? It has to do with the receipt of taxpayers' money, the custody, how safe the money was kept, and how the money was disbursed for the purpose it was meant for. For the purpose it was meant for. So that is that about definition of public sector accounting.